Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Three stunning weeks in a row. Do we have another one? Looks like we have possible news that can happen huge. We have some SPXs. They're up nicely. And then we see, right? So what happens? Here's the thing. To become a great trader, the first thing you have to do is be unbiased. Now, let's say you have Apple and you have Google and you have some positions, and if they go down for whatever reason, you'll say to yourself, oh, this is a great company, this is good. But that's not good enough for options. Options is different. You only care about what's going to happen till your option expires. So if it's going the wrong way, if you've expected zero and you bought less, it's okay to go buy a put. But if you didn't, you're going to whine and cry and do all this other bullshit that people do that lose money. I mean, think about this. This guy sent me a message Friday. He said, I bought Tesla puts last week, and it went up and it went up. He goes, it hit your number, 222, but it's moved too much. So he got whacked like 15 grand, and he's like, well, it can't go up. He sent me a Friday. He said, the company's shit, it's still not going to go up. Well, it doesn't matter if you think the company's shit or not. I mean, I buy Shop all the time, and I think the company's shit, right? It doesn't matter. It only matters what the stock is going to do next, okay? And certain things are in an uptrend. Certain things are in a downtrend. And here's a lesson that I'm going to tell you. And if you fail with this lesson, you really are going to get beat up. And you know something? You deserve to get beat up. Why would you short? Maybe it's an uptrend, maybe it's not. Why would you short the best stocks? Doesn't make sense to me. Well, NVIDIA. I don't care if you love NVIDIA or hate NVIDIA. Why would you short NVIDIA? I mean, really? Why would you do this? It makes no sense. Don't do dumb stuff. If you think the market's going to crater, go buy a put on something. That's okay. But don't do the best stocks. If you're doing the best stocks, makes no sense. Makes sense. You'll do better. Okay, so today you have the CPI tomorrow. If the CPI comes down way down, you're going to have a 200-point up day coming in SPX. I mean, insane for a 200-point week. If the CPI comes in really bad, then maybe everything goes to shit again. Who knows? Don't know. Okay? But then you have the Fed on Wednesday. Okay? Interesting week lining up. Okay, AI stuff still starting to get better. I mean, Microsoft is way lower. Now it looks like it's starting to back up on a Monday. It's up. Tesla, very straightforward. 252 takes off. Shop, very straightforward. Any close over 65 can take off. Okay? Netflix. News after news, people saying nonstop signups. It's trying. It gets to 452. Maybe it spikes. And then we see Adobe continues to scream. We'll look at that. Oracle has earnings. Oracle Cloud. Are they going to be the first one that talks about things are starting to perk up? If it does, Lam Research goes nuts. And then there's Avago, who can't seem to get out of its own way, but it's got 120 points up when it starts. Okay? So that's what we know. That's what we know is going on. Okay? I got my power cable, so I'm alive. Interesting. Okay. But 3 weeks, why are you fighting the trend? Now, there's SPX roll week. So the SPX roll. So this is the futures for newer guys. It's futures. The futures go out. You got a new futures strike. So that's what is moving. Okay, so just know that. Okay. SPX, you're up about $1. If you want to sell them, go sell them. It's up to you. And ours are for tomorrow. We're going to see if we can really, really take off in this. Okay? But let me tell you, this Mike Wilson, he's a fool. He's a fool. Why wouldn't he just say, wait a second, I'm wrong. I'll put my short back on when things start moving low. Why wouldn't you just do that? The guy was one of the great analysts. He caught everything to the downside. And now he's giving it all back and more. All back and more. Think about that. Let's say you caught Tesla and you went from 100 to 4,000. And then it goes to 2,000. Why wouldn't you just get out of it, buy it back? Pretty simple. You make 2,000 points. Pay your taxes. Not a big deal. Avago set to gain EU approval for WM-led decision by July 17th. Oh, that's this week? Friday? Let me double check my calendar. It's Friday? It is Saturday. Interesting. Okay? So keep an eye on it. They may open up next week. Interesting. If it happens. Okay, so that's what we know. Okay, so let's get started. Good morning, everybody. 6:12. Stocks go up, stocks go down. SPX moving. How far do we go? 42.23 is a big number now. Any close over that, we run. Okay? Oh, July 17th. Sorry. My fault. I can't read sometimes. Okay. So underneath 42.71, 42.50. Okay. Avago 816, 822. 816, 822. Nvidia 392, 403, 417, 422 is the breakout. Research 621, 629, 632. Apple 182, 186. Carvana's on the screen. They haven't done their secondary. I believe they haven't done that. Everybody thinks they're going to do one, and that's why it's going lower. Once it's done, if they get it off, probably up to 26. So keep an eye on that. CMG back on the screen. This thing is way lower than we had. Remember, we had the 2000 went to 2150. It's interesting, right? So it's back on the screen because I want to see what happens with CPI. If the food prices inside the CPI are good, lower, then CMG can spike. The food prices have to be lower. Meta, 272. Remember the Apple event and the Meta event? Took it up to 272. We bought the 280s and sold them that same day. And it's down. It's way down. So it's really down, 10 points from there? So you're kind of waiting. UPSD, 33.36. Amazon 126, 129, Oracle 116, 119, Adobe 462, 471, 492. Wow, way up there. Snowman 172, 179, MDB 382, 398. 398 becomes a beast. Google 126, can't move. Netflix 426, big number, and then 432. Lilly. BIID did good. I didn't even know what BIID was doing. Hold on a sec. Let me run back to the computer over here. BIID is up 4. Not that much. Interesting. Okay. So Lilly, you got 451, 456. Sava just sitting there, 26, 29. SMCI 272, 281. Shopalicious 65, 65, 60. Microsoft 331, 338. Tesla moves every Friday. It moves every Friday. Okay? Isn't that interesting? If it gets to 250 too fast, how far does it go? There's an article that it's got approval for FSD. I don't believe that that's out there yet. Who knows if it's real? I don't think it's real. But if it is, then we see. Don't know if it's interesting to you, but the Cara IPO is on Wednesday. Could be the next CNG. CARA, Cara. I don't know what they do. Is it a food place like a CMG? I don't know. CARA. We'll look at it. That's all the questions and comments. That's what we know. Okay, and somebody's asking, should I buy or should I sell my SPX? And that's up to you. If you made $1 million last week and you got a $500 position in SPXs, should you sell? If you lost $1,000 last week and you're up $2,000 on SPXs, should you sell? Guys, if you ask what to sell, that means you either didn't watch the video or you don't understand the basics. No two accounts are the same. If you have an account and you have your kid's account for their college, you trade those differently. Get smarter, guys. Get smarter. We want everybody to do well. Trade with profit. Build your account. Buy less. Expect zero. That's what we know. You can become great. You can all become great. But you can't be great if you do dumb stuff. Stop doing dumb stuff. If you buy Tesla, 240, and it goes to 250, and you're up 10 grand, is that good enough for you? If you have a $50 million account, and you only put in 20 grand in Tesla, and you say you're going to let it run, that's okay. If you have a $2,000 account and you put in $200 in Tesla and made $1,000, that's great for you. Every account is different. Even if you ask your wife if you're going to sell, that means you don't get it. You don't get it. Get smarter. You will become successful and become great. Everybody have a great 10 days. See you, Jay.